Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you can find a description of the day's astrological aspects as I have them written out here. Here, I'm going to discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and I will play another card that, in the context of today's astrology, may give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. We begin with the card on the side of the page. This is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is here because it relates directly to the first 10 days or the first decan of the sun's transit in the land of Libra. So Libra is an air sign, and swords in tarot are air element symbolism as well. Air element symbolism relates to our thoughts, our plans, our words, and how we use them in the world. So we come to the Two of Swords. We see this person sort of sitting here blindfolded, holding up two swords. And since we know swords are air element symbolism, we know that these are ideas or plans or thoughts that we're having. They're probably trajectories we could go. It looks to me like a crossroads, right? Or a point of decision, right? So somebody's struggling a little bit with a choice that they have to make. Often in this situation, we know what it is that we have to do, but committing to one path often sort of closes off our access to the other path, from then on. And we may, with regrets, have to choose something that's more practical for ourselves, or choose something that's more in the direction of our dreams, where, perhaps the other path just looked like a fun diversion, right? So whatever it is, the choice that we're coming up against at this point, the point is that now is the time to make the choice. Because if you don't know what it is that you're going to choose, like most of us do, but if you don't, understand that the longer you wait and the more you sit here and sort of blindly pretend that you don't have a choice to make, or you don't know what choice to make, like you're somehow trapped there. The longer you sit there, the more your options diminish. All right. The longer you sit there, the fewer, the fewer options you have. So, this is the shit or get off the pot card for now. And it's really just a reminder to, when you're in your head and you are undecided and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? Right? I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this. It's time to get quiet, okay? And listen to the emotional self, what the emotions are telling you about your two different paths, and also the instinctual self, what your instinct is telling you about your two potential paths, right? And one of them is going to come across way more strongly like, yes, this is the one that you should do. It's the one that, everybody around you sees you doing. It's the one that you feel the most comfortable trying to do. Or, maybe it's the one that's the most challenging, but, in your opinion, like the thing most likely to bring you closer to your ideal circumstance in life, which is something we're thinking about a lot lately. And I just want to say also that the two here reminds me of the Gemini. Mars is in Gemini, just right up in the middle of the top of the sky every morning right now. When you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, if you're Central Standard Time, that Mars is right up there in the top of the sky. It says it's time to take action. Okay, this is the fire under our behinds that's saying it's time to get going. All right, it's time to get moving. We can't just sit around and try to decide. So with that said, ooh, we got the Temperance card. Okay, so Temperance is a major arcana card, and this has to do with the mature ability to handle sort of whatever comes your way, the mature ability to manage the different flows in your life. And what do I mean by flows? Like the flow of friendship in your life, the flow of love in your life, the flow of money in your life, the flow of other emotional connections, the flow of the work that you're trying to get done in the world, just the flow of your days, even like how you get through your days. Temperance is a person who has been, working on doing the same thing for a long time. And so now they really know how to manage those flows. And you can kind of see that this person it looks like they're spilling water out of one cup into another. Water is very emotional or intuitive, but it doesn't look like that water is flowing the way it normally would, right? So this is the mature management of flows. If you can get that water to sort of flow sideways from one cup into the other, that's some really tricky, focused work that one can do right there. I see the trine on this person's chest. That's like the trine, the trine aspects that we have on the page today. Venus trine to Pluto. This is a super positive and really kind of intense sex and romance vibe. It's a good time to connect with somebody that you love, and also it's a good time to really get into your personal artistic or creative expression somehow. So I went ahead and drew a flower here. And then Moon is trine to Jupiter today. And this is a really positive personal life vibe. It's really good for socializing and sharing. Venus trine to Pluto. Venus is also in opposition to Jupiter, which we looked at yesterday. That's a very social vibe too. So it's probably a good time in the year for socializing. The weather is getting nice. It's more fun to go outside. So, take advantage of those trine vibrations that are on the page. This is telling us, that we can handle ourselves with maturity and with grace and with some sort of like sense of divine protection. That's what those red wings kind of say to me. This person has one foot in their intuitive, emotional life and one foot planted on the ground, right? So one foot in reality and one foot in the dream life. And that's very much, these oppositions we've been looking at lately, Neptune and Jupiter over here, asking us what would be our ideal circumstances, what it is we need to feel like we're growing and expanding in life. And then our personal planets over here going, well, practically speaking, here's what I could use, So we have a mature, balanced idea of what it is that would be ideal for us. And now is a good time to be drawing those things in, because we can take whatever comes our way and really manage it with maturity. That's what I'm getting from that. And then Temperance next to the Two of Swords. It's interesting. You've got these two swords and this blindfold, and this person can clearly see very well. So well that they can probably see exactly through what they're doing, to see the sort of as above, so below quality to what they're doing, and the two wings there. So, you don't get to the mature handling of flows. You don't get to the mature ability to celebrate and to engage in intensely positive relating with other people when you are, sitting here in the mode of indecision, right? You're going to have to make the decision to get to this point where you can really celebrate your maturity and your ability to take care of business. Okay, this is not taking care of business. This is taking care of business. Okay, so again, we have the shit or get off the pot sort of message. Like, once you make your choice, then you can get into the learning that you need to do, right? We got the Hermit yesterday. You can get into the learning that you need to do so that you can become this person who knows how to do the thing that you've been hesitating to choose to do. Perhaps you were hesitating to choose to do it because you weren't sure if you'd be any good at it, or like, we don't want to invest ourselves in a course of education or a course of action, or we don't want to invest ourselves in a business or something like that if we don't don't feel certain that it's going to work out well for us. But sometimes you've really just got to take a chance. If something is your best bet, especially your best bet for drawing in those ideal circumstances through that trine of change toward your personal life, you've got to make a choice. And failing to make a choice really just puts you behind the ball. So yes, two cups or two swords, my friends. Do you want to manage? Do you want to be able to manage what's coming in for you, or do you just want to be blind and pretend that you don't have choices to make and allow your options to diminish as a result? I think I'll pick the Temperance card. Okay, friends, I think that's all I have to say about it today. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.